Yeah, yeah. What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to episode 20, guys. How you doing?
Yo, 20.
Gary, you still with us?
Yo,
wait, yeah.
Yo, so I got an email from a guy that he wants me to jump on his podcast. I told him no though because the money wasn't right. So I'll take care of you.
The invisible guy, along with just Jerry.
It was definitely DT asking me to come into the H.G.R.G.
So listen, guys, episode 20. I want to talk about what people have been asking. You know, should I jump in now, especially in this climate? A lot of people have cold feet, and we just want to talk about the benefits of jumping in. You know, if you can find a property and it makes sense and it works, why not? You know, there's no, you keep waiting for timing and you'll be waiting for a long time, you know, and we just don't want that. You got to go when it's time to go. You know, obviously do your research. We want you to make educated buys and smart buys, but what I would say is don't just stand by. Oh man, that's good. Don't just stand by, go by. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Now,
wait, so where you going, just Jerry? With a host like this,
we don't even want to talk about this right now.
Yeah, we don't stand by, go by. Yeah. Hello.
To be honest, we jumped into this episode because we're getting questions on do we jump in now? Do we not jump in? I'm a little scared. I'm a little I'm shy with some money. Listen. The reason why we stopped everything to just get into this episode was because of this. We have to let you know this is the game. You have to jump in when you have to jump in. If you scared, just like Lance just said, if you're gonna wait for the best moment, you're gonna wait for the rest of your life. So let's get into that, man. Let's get into that. This is gonna be a good one, man.
Absolutely. This is what gets you right, man. This is what gets you right. As DT butters up, you know, he's ready to go. I see you put your lipstick on. That's great. You know what? It's all right. It's 2022, partner. Yeah, that's no problem. No problem.
I don't know about y'all, but it's real cold in my neck of the woods. You understand me?
So DT, let me ask you this. You know, when you hear someone say that, hey man, you know, I'm just not ready to buy, or it's not the right time to buy, but you know, I want to, you know, I'm going to, but just not right now. You know, what do you say to something like that, DT? How do you combat that?
Me and you are not alike, is what I think. And with all due respect, I say that, but you know, I'm the type of person when I get involved with something, like I have my habit, my person, my DNA is I go all in. I'm 100% invested in that. Like, I don't know how to do things halfway, right? If I love, I'm all in on my love. If I work, I'm all in on my work. Whatever I do, I'm all in on it.
Half stepping.
Yeah, I don't half step nothing. So I'm not like that person.
Just this podcast, but okay.
The podcast, I'm all in on the podcast. So I can't really relate to somebody, and I don't mean that like saying that I'm better and you're worse. It's not that. It's just I don't have that personality to say like I'm kind of timid or half stepping. Like I jump off a bridge with no parachute regularly. That's who I am. That's what I do. But you know, my balance in life is my wife. She kind of walks me off bridges at times, and she makes sure that, you know, I make calculated risk where I'm just more of a gunslinger type thing. So I don't relate to that type of a person. But what would I say to them is obviously calculated risk. Yeah. And I say this all the time. You're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if not now, when? Right? What's it going to take? If the numbers are there, if it's in front of you, right? It's all on paper. It all makes sense. You know, what are we waiting for? There was something that I read. I lie. It was something that I heard on an audio book, and it's paralysis analysis is what the phrase was, right? You can analyze something so much that you become paralyzed and actually making a move because you've overanalyzed it, and it kind of had you paralyzed. So I would say to anybody, don't do that. You know what I mean? Jump in. I remember when I was younger and, I began to get involved with real estate, and I used to think about the numbers. Like I was very nervous about the numbers because I didn't have money. I didn't have a lot of money. So I was like, and I didn't know how to get money. I knew I knew how to get like a little bit of money, but I didn't know how to get a lot of money. And the money that I knew how to get, I didn't realize that was enough money to buy a house, or I didn't really need money to buy a house. I could figure it out other ways with creative financing. I didn't know that. So I used to get scared when somebody told me, hey, this house is 100,000 or these two properties are 200,000 or whatever. So that whenever they said that, I would just be like, that's not for me. I'm not at that level yet. You know what I mean? But I didn't know no better. Now, my mindset changes. And then when people that walk in have those same conversations, and I can understand that they're timid because they think how I thought. I'm not at that level yet. But I always say to them, what you mean you're not at that level yet? Hold on. That could be you. Let me show you how. And that's what we do, here at H.G.R.G. Daily, we're doing it daily. People don't think that it could be them. Like there's no way. They come in, their credit score is this, and the cash that they have is that. And in their brain, they just think, I'm only available possibly for something like, 50, 60,000, 100,000. But then when we show them, nah, reality is that maybe you could do $250,000 right now. What? Me? And it's, yeah.
Right. Or you think you can't get anything. And then we go, listen, you can get something for 50, 60,000. Jerry, let me ask you this. Is that not a big misconception where people always feel like they don't have enough money to get started? I mean, I'm starting to see that a lot where it's like, I don't have enough. I only have $20,000 in my bank account. I don't have enough. I only have 15,000. How can you buy property for $15,000? Is that not a huge misconception that we're starting to see?
1,000%. So I was one of them. So I used to think I couldn't jump into real estate because I didn't have enough money. It's not money, the real estate, what you jump into real estate, is the education. If you educate yourself, you will understand, hey, I could get that. I could get this. There's a way to get this. There's a way to get that. So what we usually do, and what we're going to be doing on our portal, we walk with you. Our portal's coming out soon, and it tells you from A to Z. It shows you really can get it. It's easy for you. Just all you have to do is educate yourself. So the money is, for me, if that question was asked to me, how do I get in? I would say educate yourself. We're going to teach you how to get it. You don't need $1 million to walk in. Everybody thinks you need a lot of money to walk into real estate, and you don't. You really don't. It's ways to get it. Just like DT said, creative financing. That is a big deal, because if you don't have all the money, we'll get you some of the money so you can close. Or if you don't have no money, we could use credit. It's amazing how you would find.
We even get so crazy, not just say us because we're the only people on the earth that can do it, but real estate in general is such an amazing opportunity that you can have no money, no credit, and get involved with real estate with no money and no credit, and jump into a deal where you get 3, 4, 5 properties or one. And I'm not saying it because it's a conversation that I heard. This is reality.
It's reality.
We've orchestrated these deals. We've seen these deals.
There's never that. Just looking back to Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke's interview.
Yeah.
He tells you he didn't have to put nothing down.
No money, no credit checks, fix the property, and he didn't have to make a payment until after a tenant rented it. So he went almost a year. No money, no credit checks, no payments for almost a year.
But had to put sweat equity into it, to make it right. But there's so many ways. There's so many ways to do this. And I would say, and I'm going to be transparent. The way with the creative financing is something that I didn't think was possible. When it sounds like bullshit, to be honest with you, excuse my language, but it didn't sound like.
I don't excuse your language. You already said it.
Who in their right mind is going to be the mortgage holder,
Mm-hmm.
And let you pay them? Why not just sell the property? Why not do it that way? Why not get it off your hands and get the headache away if that's what you really want to do? So who in the world is going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
But what you need to realize that some of these properties need a lot of work, and then maybe not going to be able to sell it, or it's something that's just on their hands that they can't get off the books because of the condition it's in. So you may be able to come in. You might have the money, but you have bad credit. That's a perfect scenario for you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can spend your money to fix up that property. You can then pay him for X amount of time until you get your credit right, and then refinance, cash out, pay him out. Property's under you. You're good to go. I mean, guys, there's so. I mean, we could do this for how long? On creative ways.
Yeah, there's so like creative financing is like it's not something that I specialize in, but it's something that I'm very, very in tune with. And I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning. I've done several creative financing. I'm always looking for creative financing deals for myself,
Right.
for other people, because it's a way to grow your portfolio, like almost for free, like at times, right? Creative financing, to Lance's point, why would somebody sell me a property or allow me to finance a property without a bank, without any money, without any credit? How would that benefit them? Why would they not just go ahead and sell it outright as is, deal off market, and, cut their ties and call it a day? The thing that we don't realize a lot is that, everybody has their own life, their own stories, right? Some people have properties that they owe, they're underwater, right? So you get a property where you owe 40, 50 grand on, and it's really not worth but 10, 20 grand, right? So you create a finance to this person that's going to take 5 to 10 years to pay you off. So by the time they're at that 5 to 10 year process, they paid you all the money that you were underwater on. That property wasn't worth that value. But because you creative financed it, you were able to just kind of make that a wash. So it worked for you. It just worked for you, right? So instead of me losing money, I was able to make more money, or at least break even, because I creative financed this property and I got rid of my headache. And if the person defaults on it, I get the property back. And they paid some of my debt already. So it's for them, it's a win-win. For them, they think, why would somebody pay me more when they can go and buy another property on the market for the same amount? So it's kind of the same ideology. It's just two different perspectives, right? Another thing is, you get people who, wealthy people who don't want to pay taxes, right? So they buy a property, and if they sell this property outright on the market, they're going to have to pay 25, 35% of their profit to taxes. So why would I do that when I can creative finance it and see probably 20% more than I would on the market, and I can avoid the tax cost?
Yeah. So there's
gems.
There's both sides of the story, man.
Gems, absolutely.
It's there. It's definitely there, man. That's the reason why I would tell you, don't think about it. Do some education and do some research. Do some history on anything you got to do with real estate. And real estate is a win-win situation. Either way is going to win for you.
Okay. All right. So devil's advocate here. All right, fellas. I hear everything you're saying. Sounds great. The problem is that there's still COVID out there. So what about the tenants that aren't paying? Why would I want to buy properties and take a chance of not getting paid because of COVID? So why jump into a market like that when COVID is still out there?
Do you want to jump in?
Absolutely. So depending on what state you're in, what market you're in, what town, what city, the sickness is still out there. COVID, the disease is still out there, alive and active. And my condolences to any and everybody who's been affected by it, because I am one who has been. But as far as real estate is concerned, doesn't stop me at all.
Yeah, I would jump on that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Do I factor it in my numbers? Absolutely. Evictions they've opened them up in some places. Some places have been opened already. Some places are late to the party, but at the end of the day, eviction has started. What that looks like, we don't know yet. There's things that, that there really not no certain solid answers to, because I believe we're going to go through a new normal, what was normal before, I don't think will be normal again. There's going to be a new normal. But long story short, what do? You figure that in your numbers, right? So whatever you negotiate those properties that you're paying for, if there's a tenant in there that's not paying, you factor that in your numbers. Are you going to be able to afford to hold this property for whatever time frame comes around with no income?
Great point.
If the answer is no, then that property is not for you. If the answer is yes, then go do it. And there's also creative ways to get rid of tenants. Tenants through COVID, if you can't get rid of them through the old fashioned knocking your door and say, hey, where's my rent? You got to go in 30, 60, 90 days, then maybe you pay them to leave. That sounds like crazy, but that's a very, very common thing. They call it pay for keys or, pay to leave.
Yeah.
It's a very common thing. We've even done stuff with people who we'll help them pay their security deposit into their next property. You want to move? No problem. Go find another apartment. I'll help you pay your security. Actually, I'll help you. I'll hire movers for you and help you pay your security deposit. Just do me a favor. Don't have those people call me for a landlord reference.
1,000%.
If they do, there's no way I'm gonna co-sign you. But if you find another spot, I'll pay your security deposit and I will help you move.
Just Jerry, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say the sickness is definitely here. Still here. Well, they're opening up things. They're changing. Yeah, and what to DT's point, we are now going into a new norm. But the mask in California they're gonna remove that February 15th. So there's things happening that they're going back to the norm. Mm-hmm. So once we start to go to the norm, COVID, the rents the moratorium is going to be lifted at certain locations. So it's going to come back. So if you buying property now and you scared of COVID is going to be lifted somewhere, somehow, somewhere. So all you got to do is weather the storm to get there. But while going through that, this created ways to kick out the tenants. So I would say, jump in now. COVID is not going to last. Real estate is going to last.
Or like you said, man, do the math. Can I survive without a tenant paying? Put it in there. Okay, you know what? I can. I have a good job here. I have enough savings here. I can weather the storm. Because like I said, things are going to go back. When we say the norm, as far as being able to evict people, get the right tenants in there, vetting them properly, and getting everything situated so you can get paid, that'll be there. Now, if you listen to one of our interviews, we had Larry that was a new investor and was dealing with the same thing. Came in right when COVID hit, had a tenant that owed $5,000, right, that couldn't pay, but there's programs out there. And like you said, I got a nice check from Uncle Sam, that gave it to me so that way I could, and I made it there and I survived with it until I got that check. So that's because he bought right. He's able to weather the storm and to help us on the way, and he got his help.
And why buy now? What's so enticing about buying now, COVID, whatever, right now? Why? Number one, your interest rates are second to none. Markets are on fire, because interest rates are unbelievable. That would be the driving force to why buy now. Okay, because the interest rates are just second to none. Also, why buy now? You'll see, it may not be today, depending on how things go, good, bad, or ugly. You're going to see a lot of people who have been super frustrated over the last 24 months, 30 months of this whole time span of moratoriums and different things with COVID, that they're so frustrated and they're so underwater that they have to sell. They tried to wait it out, and it got to a point where it's just too heavy on them. So there's going to be an influx of properties on the market and available.
You killed me, DT, because I was just thinking in my head. Once again, I was going to be devil's advocate, but there's no inventory. So why would I even bother looking now? Yeah. But you just answered that, so I get it.
There will be an influx of properties on the market. Now, what I project to happen is that they're going to come in with the same not projections. with the same theory of let me try to get the high prices because that's what the market's going for because the interest rates are so low. But as soon as those influx of properties come on the market, the interest rates will also rise.
Right.
So then that balance will come back to the number, the prices of the properties will balance itself out.
And that's the market correcting itself.
Exactly. So why now, with that example is because the interest rates, you can overpay for properties now because your interest rate is so low that it's the same thing, right? What you save in interest, you spend in money.
Yep.
Now later on, when the interest goes up, what you save in money, you spend in interest.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Is this a fair thing going through the COVID conversation? Is the rents up?
Yeah.
Rents are very high now. That helps you.
Sure.
So if you're buying and you have some tenants that you're going to have some vacancies, now you can charge a little bit more because the rents are high.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win-win situation for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gas is going up. Food's going up. Parts for your automobile are going up. Automobiles themselves are going up. Your rents are going up.
Minimum wage.
Minimum wage is going up. So their rent goes up. I mean, listen, that's the market dictates it. You don't dictate it. The market does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and we'll speak on that soon about,
So sorry to cut you.
No, sorry, go ahead.
So we bought high, low interest rate. So you're paying a good number for your mortgage if you're financing, but your rents are high. I don't see where you see a problem there.
Yeah.
It's excellent buy right now.
Yeah.
You'll see your returns.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, guys, this is the problem. I've seen family members, and I don't want to name, and I don't want people to get mad at me, but I've had family members that bought 100 how to get rich books, but never move forward. You have people that get motivated for a day, a week, but then after that, it's gone. You have a lot of people don't follow through and take the next step, because listen, there's a lot of ups and downs. It's a hard road. Maybe you can't see the future, and there's a lot of things. Whatever that reason may be, we're here to tell you, move forward. Just go forward. Just do it. There's no other way around it.
Yeah. And this conversation is not for, I'm sorry to cut you late. This conversation is not for, just specifically for people who are, considering real estate. This conversation is also for people who are already in real estate. We get calls regularly with owners, investors that we already deal with that are, they do very well for themselves. They have a respectable portfolio that they own, and they want to buy. They got money to spend. They're like, I'm itching. And then they're asking us, is now the time? Yeah, but prices are so high, and interest. They don't really talk about the interest rate because their negative is the prices are so high, and they're used to paying less numbers and getting better deals and things like that. So they're calling us and saying prices are so high. Is now the time to invest? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry just explained it to you. Price is higher, mortgage is going to be lower because of interest rate, and your rents are high. It all evens out.
1,000%, man.
It all evens out. So to not go forward or to have cold feet, it's understandable, but you're not going to get anywhere on the sideline. You're just not. You're not. And trust me, we get it because we've all been there. But sometimes it takes a special breed to just jump.
Yep.
Right. And there's a lot of that. But like I said, do your research. Do what makes you feel comfortable. You may not be that breed just to jump, but educate yourself and then move forward. But move forward.
Right.
Move forward, guys. We want to stop today, and we want to. This is less of a podcast for us and more of us preaching to you guys, because we keep getting that, and we're like, this is something we have to address, something we have to talk about, and that's something we want to address with you guys. And DT, Jerry, if you have anything that you want to leave them with, so that way they understand what we're talking about here, or any words of encouragement, go for it.
What I would say would be, don't think about the time anymore. It's your time. That's where it comes down to it. Don't think that you can't. Don't think that you may not. Huh?
Bible.
But I just don't. Everybody's hung up on would I listen? The way you would jump into a something safe, like putting your money in the bank. This is your bank. This is where your money is going to be at. This is going to bring you freedom. This is going to bring you cash flow. This is going to bring you a day that, hey, I could give this to my family. This is a win-win situation.
Damn, I want to touch on that, Jerry.
Ahead,
That's something we don't even talk about. You're leaving your mark for your loved ones. When you go, they have something tangible. They're not starting from scratch. You gave them something to work on and build on. And what better than that to leave them with that? I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, just Jerry, but that is something that no one talks about that. We always talk about the interest rates, what it costs, the rents. We don't talk about the bigger picture as well. You're leaving something for your loved ones. You're building an empire, or you're building something small where they can build an empire on top of. I mean, that's huge. I apologize, Jesse.
Nah, you're good, man. It's just where we stand at, man. And I don't want to talk down to nobody. I don't want to speak to. I want to speak with. And the conversation is, if we did it, DT, Lance, myself, we don't come from a money tree. If we walk the walk, listen, you're not, I'm not better than you. None of my guys is better than you. So I'll tell you this. If you have the education and you did your research and you have some capital, is a perfect time to buy.
DT, talk to him.
I tell you what, if you don't, I will.
That's clean cut.
I can't buy every deal. I don't got all the money, but I tell you what, when I get 5 pennies, I promise you this, I'm going towards the next deal. So if you don't, I will. If you don't do it now, I appreciate you. More than merry. I'm good. I'm just saying, if you don't, I will. So, I mean, what better practice than if I do it, why would I not recommend anybody else do it? I'm doing it actively. I'm in it. I'm knee deep in it. So, yeah.
It's funny you say that, man.
I'll tell you as well that we do mentorship. So we could walk you through education. We also walk you through deals. So our portal's coming up. And if you're gonna wait, I'll tell you, wait. If you're gonna wait to buy, wait for my portal to come out so we can get up. We can teach you the way to get
it. But that's real though. I mean, and DT, what you were just saying though, is how we got into the properties. You know what? Because you're like, if you're not gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy it. You know, my next 5 pennies go straight to my next investment, right? So Jerry and I, when we spoke, we were like, you know, and I know you guys have heard this before, but I'm like, damn, somebody owns it. Somebody owns it. So how can we not take this chance to go? Somebody owns that property. So why not us, right? That's where that came from. So why not us? So you see it on the hat, you know, and we move forward with it, man. We were, even after everyone telling us no, millionaires telling us no, don't do it out of market. You know, out of your market, you can't supervise it. You have no control. We still did it. And we won, and we're winning, you know, and also, once again, like you said, in the portal, we'll show you how to win. But
right. I promise you, there's people that just heard me say that, right? That watching this, they're going to laugh because they notice what I say to like everybody I know, friends, family, business associates, whatever. Hey, don't worry about it. Because, you know, hey, present me a deal. Give me a deal. I want to know the next best deal. Talk to me. Hey, I'm ready. All right, I got a deal for you.
Oh, you meant today? That's what you get. You meant right now. You get the George Lopez right now. Right now. later.
Yeah. You tell them everything's good. Yeah. I'm all this. Yep. They're like, oh. Hey man, listen, I respect you, so I presented it to you. If it's no, it's no. Because if you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. Matter of fact, you've had these conversations.
I was about to say, yeah, you said it to us. Yeah,
we've had these conversations. So I mean, it is what it is, and it wouldn't be that way if this wasn't the time. And if I didn't practice what I preached, then I'm selling fluff. You know what I mean? But to Jerry's point, though, yeah, we are definitely giving mentorships. We're definitely giving coaching. We definitely have a portal coming out, which is solid information, super solid. If you fail with that information, it's because you fail, because it's, as some of our students say, it's too easy. We're spoon feeding you too much. Baby food comes in different types. Like there's a mush baby food, like banana, that comes in a little can that they can just kind of mull on with no teeth, right? And then baby food also is a little bit more of the little banana bites that once they got teeth they can dig into. We're mushing it up for you. We're not making you chew anything solid. It's almost too easy. With the portal and the team and the mentorship and the coaching that we have. So we're going to start pushing this heavy, obviously, as we should. We have a product that works. We believe in it. We have testimonials. Not only does our success stem off of all of it, but we also have people who, very recently listened, read up on, took heed to, was a part of the coaching and mentorship. And I'm talking less than a month's time. We have several, not one, not two, not three, several success stories on purchases, deals that are closing as we speak. So, we don't just talk it on a podcast. We don't just preach it in the background in the mentorship and the coaching, but we also live it. I mean, what more tried and true than that?
Absolutely. And what we do is we don't have a website where we have just the testimonials, right? We bring them on the podcast, speak, tell the people your story. We give you the platform. And don't let us just tell it, because you can edit things and you can make it look beautiful. You can wrap it up in a beautiful bow.
And we don't edit. Our only editing is when like somebody drops the microphone or when somebody's internet goes out. Our editing is not to chop words in and out.
Whatever, DT. We're not gonna do that here. All right, we're not gonna do that here, guys. Everybody's gonna relax on this platform right now, and not talking about the internet. You understand? All right, we're gonna get right back to regular scheduled programming. We're not gonna talk about the internet. But thank you. But back to what I was saying, guys. Yeah, we're gonna have people come on the podcast, and people that have gone through the H.G.R.G program and speak on it.
Yeah.
They're going to speak on it. We give them the platform. You can't get any more transparent than this.
Yeah.
You just can't. They have real properties. They put down real money. They have a real story, and we put them on the platform for the world to see. So if you're looking for transparency, you're looking to see if something works. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And with that being said, guys, if you got cold feet, let us walk you to the finish line. Let us bring you to the promised land. And we have something that's worked. It's tried and true. And you guys just got to go for it, man. We keep hearing the question, and here's our answer to you guys. Okay. So we appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jerry, DT.
Just to add in, we have below is going to be our email address that if you want to contact us, or our website. You can also look at our website, Hidden Gems Real Estate Group.com or HGRG.club. Please hit us up. We're ready. We're waiting for you on the other side.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys, fellas. Another one. I know this was an unorthodox podcast because we wanted to address this, but it was something that had to be addressed. So once again, hopefully we gave you guys information you want to hear. Hopefully it was educational, and we hope to see you on the other side.
And motivational.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Salute.
Yeah. What they say? I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental's parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental's parasailing maritime. They say